Hi guys, quick video today to look at the Hauppage WinTV QuadHD TV tuner. It's a quad tuner supporting DVB-T2, DVB-T and DVB-C. In the UK for over-the-air terrestrial TV we typically use DVB-T2 for HD and DVB-T for non-HD broadcasts. So you'll need an aerial to receive that. And I believe the DVB-C standard is the standard used mainly on continental Europe for digital cable TV. So in order to use this card you'll need obviously an aerial, a broadcaster which meets one of those standards, a computer in which to plug this card, and it's an internal card so it needs to be installed inside your computer, with a PCIe interface that meets the minimum system requirements, which is Windows typically, a gigabyte of RAM, a dual core processor of 3 GHz or faster, and DirectX 9 and a spare PCIe Express slot. It also needs an internet connection if you want to do any software updates. We'll have a little look at what's in the box and what you get. I'll talk a little bit about its performance and how it compares with my other Quad HD TV card that I've been using, and I'll tell you a little bit about what software I use and how I think it performs, and whether it's worth spending the money on. Okay, so we obviously get some documentation, a plasticky small remote control with a battery. In the bag is what looks like the infrared receiver for the remote control, and it plugs into the back of the card with a 3.5mm jack, as you can see there. I won't be using the remote control or the receiver, and I'll be using this to install in my TV server, and I'll be connecting to the server via the network, so I won't be using the remote. This is a half height bracket. If you've got a small case, the good news about this card is that it can be installed with a half height or a full height bracket, so depending on the size of your computer case you've got both options available. If you want to watch TV on your PC, then this is probably not the card for you. This is a quad tuner card, so it has 4 tuners. Obviously you can't, or most people don't watch 4 streams at the same time. A single USB stick would work great for a home computer, and you can probably just go and get one of those very cheaply. These quad tuner cards lend themselves more readily to install in the servers and to serve TV to multiple users over a network, which is how I'll be using it. And that's why 4 tuners give you additional advantages in that situation, because multiple users may be watching multiple channels. The card itself is nice and compact. On the outside you can basically just see the IR input and an aerial socket, and that's pretty much all you get in the box. What's good to see is that the card itself is half height and reasonably compact, and it'll be interesting to see how it performs, especially when compared with the TBS 6205 quad tuner card that I have installed in my other server. I'll give you some comments on that later. Further to that, depending on how the channels are streamed and multiplexed over the digital transmission, a quad tuner card can easily exceed 4 streams. In fact, I've streamed 20 streams from a single quad tuner card, depending on how the signals are multiplexed together. So a quad tuner card, I would say, would meet even power users' needs for streaming TV across the network for multiple users and multiple streams, and I'll show you a bit about that later. Here we see my TV server running Windows 10, and you can see in the control panel the card shows up as a Hauppage WinTV QuadHD, and actually shows the DVB-C and the DVB-T tuners separately in control panel. I haven't disabled the DVB-C tuners, as you can see, but I won't be using them. I'll only be using the DVB-T on T2 tuners for my UK terrestrial Freeview broadcasts. The card also comes with its own TV software that you can use from Hauppage. Again, I won't be using it. It's called WinTV, currently at version 8.5 on the website, and it allows you to watch and pause and record TV. Personally, there are so many good open source free options, and the one that I'm currently using is NextPVR. You can see the settings for the server here on the screen. And essentially the way my setup works is the TV is all recorded on this server, but nobody watches TV on this server. This server is just a box in the corner of my office. This server sends TV to any device in the house over my wireless or my wired network. And we watch TV using an interface. The interface we commonly use is Kodi. So let's have a quick look at that and see how that works. At some point in the future, I might do a more detailed video about how to set up a home TV server. But for the time being, here's the desktop of my main PC. And in order to get Kodi to listen to and play video content from the server, you need to use the right add-on. And I'm using the NextPVR server, so unsurprisingly, the add-on that I need to put into Kodi is the PVR client for NextPVR. It's actually very simple to set up. All the configuration requires really is the default settings and the correct IP address. Okay, but we'll go into more detail in that perhaps in another video at some point in the future. Typically what I do, when I'm using my computer, I might be doing some other work, I just want something in the background, here's a TV guide that you can see. It's obviously been transmitted to my PC from the server. You can carry out all of the functions necessary from any client, so you can look at the guide, you can set up recordings in the future, you can watch recordings, you can do other stuff. In general though, the main thing that I do typically will be I'll just have a small window open in one corner of the desktop, probably with the news playing, just as a bit of background noise and so I can keep up to date on current affairs. That's pretty much what I do. Here you go. So I've got a dual screen set up. This is the left hand screen and my desk. And a small window at the top left hand corner. I've just got the news channel playing just to see what's going on in the world. There is a NextPVR client software that you can install should you wish to do so. I have tried it, but to be honest with you, I think Kodi is superior in many ways, and I really like the platform neutral approach. On the subject of which, of course, being Kodi, you can use any device. So here's an example of me just using my phone, doing exactly the same thing pretty much that you saw me doing on my PC, streaming HD TV from the server. And you can do all the same things here on the phone or on a tablet or on a laptop via wireless that you can do on your PC using the client. So as you can see, it looks exactly the same. There is also an iOS client, or I think it might be a paid client. I am not an Apple user, but it works brilliantly and gives such flexibility. All the members of my family have access to all the TV on pretty much any device. Let's summarize then. The Hauppage WinTV QuadHD 4-tuner half-height PCIe card, a Freeview HD tuner with 4 tuners, DVB-T2 or DVB-T, good for the UK for Freeview over the air, and also for DVB-C if you have that in your location. Includes a cheap plasticky remote control, an IR receiver cable, WinTV 8.5 application software, and also is compatible with Media Center, NextPVR, and Media Portal. On the positive side, it's a half-height card with a full-height bracket included as well, so you've got the choice of how you install it into your case. It's got the 4 tuners. It works great with the third-party software that we've talked about, and the price at £99 in the UK is relatively okay. On the negative side, the supplied software is pretty poor, basic stuff. And in my opinion, it doesn't perform as well as the TBS 6205. The TBS 6205 is able to pick up more HD channels at my location than the Hauppage tuner is. So if you live in a marginal signal area, definitely go for that one. If you've got a high signal area, it's probably less important. Although more expensive, I think the TBS 6205 is a better performing card. The Hauppage tuner is installed in my new TV server, and I'll do a video about the build of that and maybe, as I suggested earlier, a bit of a discussion about how to set up a TV server. Underneath you can see the now switched off and redundant old TV server that I was using before with the TBS 6205 in, and you can have a look at the review of that 4 years ago on my channel if you want to have a look at that. The same card's still on for sale, and I would say is probably the main competitor for the Hauppage. I decided to go to the Hauppage really just for a change to see how it's performed, and also because Hauppage is an established and well-known brand in the tuner market. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions or comments, put them below, and thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.